Even though I just got a bunch of games at the RTS Fest, I've been feeling like I want to play Rimworld again first. So despite having a bunch of games I haven't played yet, I'm going to play something I've played 100 times, as is tradition. I'm going to make the seed Spoonie, and I'm going to play with ideology and biotech. I don't actually have Anomaly yet. I'm waiting for a good sale on that. And royalty, I haven't played Rimworld in a while, so royalty, that one's a little bit more complicated. Unless you're really feeling like dedicating time to that, I usually just disable it. All right, so let's see what kind of planet we've got here. Oh, okay. Yeah, there's a huge body of water that basically splits the planet in two. That could be really tough depending on where the ship ends up spawning. And I just take a random spot. I always just pick random. So it seems a little bit more fair than like always choosing tropical or temperate forest. But I did get temperate forest. Almost split perfectly between summer and winter. That's perfect. That's really, really lucky. All right, let's do it. In the ideology system, I usually just leave it inactive. I mean, sometimes I play it, but the religion thing, it takes up so much time and energy. And again, I haven't played Rimworld in a while, so I'm a little bit rusty. I'm not sure I want to throw that into the mix, but I do like the rest of the content that ideology adds. So let's see who we've got. But see, he's got this wake up addiction. I don't want to add people right off the bat with addictions. We'll let them get them the old fashioned way. All right, this guy, I want the Glitter World medicine, but I don't want the ambrosia. Oh, they've got absolutely no health issues. That's awesome. We'll definitely take Maseo. Fiend has a chemical fascination, which will make him tough to keep happy, but he doesn't have an addiction. But it means he's definitely gonna get one. As soon as he has the ability, he's gonna become addicted. Let's see. I think Odette. I think Fiend and Odette, since they don't have other health issues. But Slothful, that's tough. And incapable of dumb labor and social. Yeah, and incapable of social. Maceo's gonna have to do all the talking for this colony. That's all right. I think that's what we're gonna do. All right, so we've landed. Took a quick look around. Not a whole lot of mountains, which sucks because I like to actually dig into the mountains. We have some steel walls here we can deconstruct for some free steel, some silver or some compacted steel. I mean, that's great, free money. So let's chop some wood down. I'm just gonna build right here. Not really a better spot. Create some temporary sleeping. We'll expand this later, but for now, they just need a room with a bed in it. And then we'll get our farm started and we'll build a storage room and hopefully maybe tame a couple animals. Oh, and we've got a dog named Pizzazz, which is great. I love when you get a usable animal like a husky or something else that can haul. It's no good when you get like a squirrel or a raccoon. They can't really do much. Yeah, let's harvest the rest of these. Some of these berries, some of these heal root. You can never have too much heal root. Even if you have 100, sometimes you just go through it so quickly, especially once you get a few more colonists and you're getting raided more and more often. All right, so now that we got that going, let's start planning out our crops. I like to leave a space between them, and then I make the spaces between them and around them into dumping sites for slag chunks and rocks. That way it kind of outlines my crops, and it gives them a little bit of fire protection. I mean, sometimes it jumps over it, but it's at least better than nothing. That's also why I like to dig into mountains when they're around. So I do prefer mountainous terrain because they're a little bit more fire resistant. Now, if you do get a fire in those caves, though, it's pretty much game over because everybody's gonna suffocate. Just got our first caravan, so we're gonna do some trading. Mazeo's the only one who can actually do any trading. They do have animals, so we haven't managed to tame any animals yet. I can't afford the alpacas, but I can afford the sheep. Then I'm gonna spend the rest of this on pemmican so that I don't starve while I'm waiting for my first batch of crops to come in. So now we've got some animals. I built a pen. We're still waiting to get one of the sheep in there. That's okay. So we also need to make these bedrooms just a little bit nicer because we have an individual with chemical fascination in the colony without access to chemicals. So their name is also Fiend, which has just got to be a terrible omen of things to come. And great, now we can name our colony and our faction. I think the faction should be called Bards, right? And then the colony's got to be SpunieVille. Yeah, no, not SpunieVille. SpunieVille. All right. Yeah, that looks good. Let's go with that. We just got our first pregnancy with our sheep, so definitely a good investment from those early traders we got. I also managed to train one gazelle. Still waiting on a male gazelle, though. Next, I'm probably going to need to expand my farm to include some hay, build a barn, and get another field of cotton going so that I can actually start creating some winter gear. All right, so first harvest of rice is coming in, and this lynx just decimates a fox, which is great because that's just free meat. I mean, he's not gonna eat the whole thing. So I need to set up an order to butcher at my table because I don't have any furs to set up my barn door flaps yet for the animals. And they won't go through no regular doors anymore. I found that out. All right, we've got a transport pod crashing nearby with Daniel, who is a housemate from Tahilia, which is the faction that came through with traders early on. We can either fix him up, send him on his way, try to recruit him, or enslave him. Since it's that local trader, I'll probably just fix him up, send him on his way, so that we get a reputation boost. We need to get training going for Pizzazz. He's got to start pulling his weight around here. We don't really need him for attack yet. Let's train him to rescue and haul. No way he can help out. Got a cougar hunting Maceo. Wait, no, that's the lynx. Oh, and what is going on with all these cats? All right. Oh, can he get inside? Yeah, he doesn't. Nobody has a weapon. All right, let's see who's the best shot here. Oh, nobody. Oh, I definitely messed up there. The highest skill in shooting is 1. Okay. I don't see any melee weapons. Usually they start you with a knife, but I don't see it. Alright, yeah, just... I guess you're gonna use it, Fiend. I don't know if giving Fiend a gun is the best thing we can do, but we'll have him go outside and try to stop this cougar. Alright, he's got to get into position. Alright, I think we're ready here. Oh, wait, no. Pizzazz, no! Fiend, if he dies, you are never getting drugs. Oh, no. Yeah, Dad's gonna freak out. She was bonded to Pizzazz. You better go get the revolver, because Fiend's never gonna hit anything. Not that you're gonna be much better. Oh, he's just eating Pizzazz. Oh, he was just gonna walk away, too. All smug. Finally, Fiend. Finally land a shot. Now I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do with Pizzazz. And I can't really eat it. Or can we? Don't worry, we didn't. Nearby there's a sandstone sarcophagus, and that is where we buried Pizzazz. He was a good boy. So kind of big news, Odette is pregnant. Some backstory, Maceo and Odette are in a relationship. So I need to figure out where I'm gonna put the crib. I need to switch their rooms because that one's a little too small. I need to, yeah, let's get to work on that. I'm not entirely sure when this happened, but Maceo is being attacked by a muffalo. Looks like pretty recent. He's just got a bite and a bruise. No immediate danger. All right, let's get him inside so this muffalo can't do any more damage. Odette's really far away. So again, it's going to be up to Fiend here, because Maseo has no weapon. I did not know that he could just come through the door like that. Okay. Maseo, go punch the Muffalo, I guess. At least he doesn't miss at point blank range. That wasn't so bad. Shortly after that Muffalo attack, we got our first addition to the colony, Monica. Monica is a 5-year-old girl who can't do a whole lot of work, but she can clean and she can haul, and she also has a submachine gun. We then received our Ship to the Stars quest, which is the primary way to beat Rimworld. You can also win by building your own ship. I've never managed to do either. The rest of that summer went pretty smoothly. We did have some storms, some fires. Some of those fires got very close to our crops. We even got several notifications about the death of someone who wasn't part of our colony. It turns out Loudy is actually one of our potential colonists who was not chosen. Odette and Maseo then got married, and a few days later, we suffered our first official raid by something other than a cougar or a muffalo. This firefight went on for quite some time. That fall, Monica turned 7 because that's how time works in Rimworld, and we got so many animals that we had to expand our barn and the pen that we keep them in. As we were doing that, Odette went into labor and gave birth to the colony's first child, Baby Clark. Baby Clark was then left on the ground in a pile of vomit next to the crib while everyone else slept. And there's probably some kind of lesson or metaphor in there somewhere, but I'm definitely not going to find it. The very next morning after Clark's birth, a horse broke into the kitchen and pummeled Maseo pretty badly. Overall, he suffered several bruises and a cracked clavicle. Odette then got into a fistfight with that same horse, somehow managing to win, but not without severe injury. Monica then came to the rescue and did what had to be done to rid us all of that rabid kitchen horse. Just 2 days after the kitchen horse incident, we suffered another raid at the hands of 5 different individuals from 2 different directions. Despite the forest fires, which I hoped would slow them down, we made preparations including sandbags and other obstacles and prepared for the worst. Just as everyone was moved into position, except Fiend of course, who suffered a break because his room was messy, visitors arrived from Tedhila, the only faction I currently had a good relationship with. Typically, they traveled with several heavily armed individuals. I knew that if I could make my way to them, they would fight on my behalf. With Monica still being fairly far away, I decided to try and outmaneuver the attackers and escape through the main building. Unfortunately, Odette took several hits while running through the main corridor. Backup from Monica would eventually arrive, and foolishly, I believed that the traders from Taldia were close behind her. So we decided to try to save Odette and Baby Clark, who at this point in time, surprisingly, was in no immediate danger, and her injuries were still relatively minor. Maseo suffered a wound to the head after fighting gallantly, and somehow survived. And as the traders from Taldia finally grew closer, the attackers decided to kidnap who they could and escape. Except for Fiend, of course, the attackers did seem to take offense to his psychotic wandering during the firefight, and managed to subdue him and kidnap him as well. The traders did finally cross paths with the attackers, and subdued several of them. At this point, the man in black had arrived just in time to try to help me save a few colonists from the kidnappers. Deciding to go after the one that was closest to escaping first, I ran to the edge of the map, hoping to save Odette. Odette had been saved. She would not be kidnapped. All I had to do now was make a few final shots, and Monica would also be safe. This is the final shot. If this misses, Monica will be kidnapped, and it will just be Yuriv, Baby Clark, and Odette. Unbelievably, Yuriv manages to land the shot at the last second, saving both Odette and Monica. Unfortunately, something that was overlooked was the small fire that was started by the raiders on the electric oven during the first moments of the attack. We also learned that perhaps the traders from Taldi are not the allies we thought they were, as they watched our village burn and did nothing to stop it. We did find some reprieve in the rains that came a few moments later and extinguished many of the fires. Those rains weren't enough to put out the flames indoors, and despite Yuri's heroic efforts to keep the flames away from the bedrooms, all 4 of them, Odette, Baby Clark, Monica, and Yuri, succumbed to the superheated air. Things admittedly got a little heavy there at the end, so to lighten things up, here's a video of a turtle eating a banana. Don't forget to hit that like button. It really helps my channel, and if you want to stay up to date on gaming news and developments, make sure you subscribe for more. Thanks for watching.